Now we try to highlight a second point of intersection between Islam on one hand and medicine as profession on the other hand. And here I want to speak about medical care. The main points in medical care is to make it available, and the second, to convince people of its benefit to make use of it. And here, introducing medical care to people, convincing them to make use of it, has again clear points of intersection with Islam as a religion. The first generation of Muslims, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he taught them that everything that happens in life has been preordained and predestined by God, what we call divine predestination, al-qada wal-qadar. And when they understood this, they thought that believing in this divine predestination can contradict with making use of medical care or medical treatment. And one of the companions of the Prophet raised this question for him. He said, what about the different types of medical treatment available? What should we do with this in the light of divine predestination? Does not this contradict with what God has already preordained and predestined? In other words, if God already preordained that I will get sick, so why should I do my best to maintain my health? And if God already predestined that I will remain sick, why should I try to restore my health? And the Prophet ﷺ, in his answer, he said to him simply and frankly, medical care is part of the broad scheme of divine predestination. So God ordained the world not in a mechanic way, but the management of life, the management of the world is based on laws that God has introduced in life. So when I'm hungry, it is preordained that I'm hungry, and it is also preordained that I will eat. But I have to follow the laws. When you are hungry, you have to eat. When you are thirsty, you have to drink. And also, when you are sick, you need to seek for medical care, not because it contradicts the divine predestination, but because it is part of it. Because this is what God asked from us. He said, when you feel hungry, you need to eat. When you feel thirsty, you need to drink. And also when you get sick, one of my organization of this life is that you need to take medical care, either to maintain your health or to restore it when it is missing. And when we check the genre, many books written on prophetic medicine or medicine of the Prophet known as Al-Tibb al-Nabawi, we find that one of the main goals of this literature is to introduce this concept to people, to common Muslims, that there is no contradiction between medical care on one hand and believing that God preordained and predestined activities and happenings in this life. So here we see clear intersection between medical care on one hand and Islamic theology or Islamic beliefs on the other hand. Another point of intersection between medical treatment and Islam is that practicing many of the Islamic rituals, like prayer, ritual prayer, salat, or fasting, siyam, or Islamic pilgrimage, hajj, to visit Mecca, needs health. So to perform the ritual prayer, you need to move, you need to make specific physical movements. In order to fast from the dawn till sunset, you need to be healthy and fit. Also, to undergo the difficulties of Islamic pilgrimage, also you need to be fit and to be healthy. So you need health to practice the Islamic rituals. So there should be a special care given to maintaining this health and restoring it when it is missing. Because the principle, the starting point in practicing these rituals is that the person is healthy. These how the rules have been done. But of course, there are always exceptions when the person is missing one of the aspects of health. How to do prayer when you cannot move, how to fast if you are sick, or maybe it's not obligatory to fast anymore, and the same also for pilgrimage. And that's why Muslim religious scholars categorized mastering the profession of medicine very high. They ranked it very high as one of the sciences that Muslims need to master. Imam al-Dhahabi, for instance, he said that mastering the profession of medicine, according to its significance, it is the second to learning the details of Islam as a religion, because you learn Islam to practice, but in order to practice it, you need the health. You need the profession of medicine. Imam al-Shafi'i, for instance, he said, don't live in a place, village or country or city in which you cannot find someone to consult in medicine and no one to consult in Islamic rituals. You should have an expert in both sciences, in both fields, someone to tell you about religion and someone to tell you how to go on with your health. So here again we see a clear intersection between medicine as profession, and in this part medical treatment, and Islam, whether it is theology or whether it is Islamic religious rulings. Thank you.